Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I hope you guys are having a good day. If you have been paying attention to the crypto market the last 24 hours, it's very clear that the entire market is just waiting for the decision on Wednesday relating to the interest rate cut. Now before we get into it, I just want to say thank you for all those amazing comments worrying about my health. I am feeling much better, and that's why I'm actually posting these videos in the first place. And let me tell you, we have a lot to cover today. I want to show you guys the way the market has just been playing very strongly sideways. At the same time, BNB, Solana, there are some very extreme tokens which are hitting their all-time high, clearly suggesting that the market is definitely trying to favor the upside, but at the same time they're not confirming it due to the fact that Wednesday is going to be the game changer. At the same time, Robert, who is obviously the writer of Rich Dad Poor Dad, says we are very close to Great Depression, which could completely destroy the financial sector in the coming few years. At the same time, PayPal enables something very exciting: US merchants to accept payments in over 100 cryptos. And let me confirm, this is a confirmed news, and the fact that PayPal is not gonna allow a lot of merchants around the whole of America to start using crypto as a form of payment is very, very exciting. And Google searches, well, they're off the roof when it comes to stablecoins, because after the stablecoin bill was passed, let's just say a lot of the population in America, they're very interested to find out how stablecoins are affecting the market and how they can become part of this deal. Now, before we get into the full details, if you guys are here for the first time, you want to stay up to date with everything to do with the crypto market, scroll down, tap the red subscribe button, and while you're there, make sure you turn on your notifications so you can stay up to date with the latest and the greatest news first. And drop a like on it. Let's go for a like of 49. We've been smashing all of them, so I really appreciate you guys. You guys are legends. Now, let's talk about the price action. Now, you can see that just in the last 24 hours, the market has seen a little bit of a pullback, where Dogecoin showed signs that it might be breaking below, you know, the super trend and flipping it into a downtrend, but it was able to make the recovery. This is just due to some, you know, data that came out, which is not very heavily impactful, but overall suggested that could have a little bit of negative impact. And the easiest way to see that is if you just look at the US dollar. Well, in the last 24 hours, the US dollar has been showing exponential growth. And why is this important? Well, usually the US dollar goes against the assets. Whenever the US dollar goes up in value, that means it's just been purchased or used a lot more, and that means overall the crypto market is losing a little bit of control. And keep in mind, there is still so much happening on the back end. That's not the only reason, but the only reason I want to show you that is because 1% increase in the US dollar value in 24 hours is quite a significant amount. While talking about the open interest, it is up about 4%. Now, 4% for Dogecoin, that's incredible, because now it's sitting at about 2.2 billion, while the long to the short ratio is still in favor of long traders. Now, you understand, 4% increase in the open interest, the overall, but at the same time, the amount of people holding these, they're still in favor of long traders, clearly suggesting that in the long term, we're still going to be seeing a positive trend from the holders, or the, let's just say, the traders of Dogecoin. And Bitcoin has also seen a surge in about 2%, while the long to the short ratio, yeah, it's in favor of long traders, but nowhere near when you compare it to Dogecoin. Now, Trump is about to reduce the 50-day deadline that he's given to Putin, but this time around it is a little bit of a scarier situation, because there are some other associates with Trump which are starting to not be very happy with China, India, and Brazil due to the fact that they're still purchasing a lot of things from Russia, which is in return fueling this war that's happening. That's what's been seen from the outside, but they're going against those countries, but they're not against the European Union, which is doing exactly the same thing. I do understand the difference between allies and people don't really care about. But what is very interesting about this is overall the market is still in favor of BRICS. Now, BRICS is definitely affecting the America, or, you know, losing a lot of its power, and that's where Trump comes into play, as he's trying to get a little bit more control. And Fed Chairman Powell to decide Fed cuts in 2 days from now. Now, keep in mind, now it's just sort of a pressure that's being built on Powell to try to make sure that he is going to be cutting the rates, but how much will be up to him. Does that make sense? So it's a very interesting situation that the entire market has come to, because the next 48 hours is definitely going to play a crucial role on the stock market and including the crypto market. And Dogecoin faces a potential impact from upcoming token unlock and amid the strong liquidity and the market stability. Now, Dogecoin's predictable unlock schedule prevents sudden market shock or investor panic, and technical indicators suggest that Doge is stabilizing around 24 cents, and there is a very strong chance that it will slowly start climbing once it's able to stabilize itself a lot better. And Dogecoin shows potential bullish reversal after trendline break with eyes on 29-cent resistance. Keep in mind, 29 cents might not even act as a strong resistance. It's just going to be very strongly dependent on if we're able to climb above 26 cents. If we're able to do so, 36 cents will be just around the corner. And top analyst says this pattern suggests a several month uptrend ahead of Dogecoin. And if you just look at the trend line, well, it's very clear that all-time high can be broken by Dogecoin in the coming days. And seeing how well the entire market is doing, if everything just stays in a strong uptrend, let's just say Dogecoin will follow through. And Dogecoin to face 100 million Doge hit. End of the bull run, question mark? And the simple answer is, it's going to be very interesting, because you need to understand, ever since ETFs have become such a crucial core part of the crypto market, and there are so many institutes which are holding such a large chunk of Bitcoin, bull market and bear market trend is slowly starting to fade away. It would be very hard to be able to predict when we're in a bear market as compared to before, where we had more like cycles. Every single time a Bitcoin halving event happened, that's pretty much the time the Bitcoin market is going to start going into a bull market. But this time around, just so much money's thrown at Bitcoin, it will be much harder to be able to predict when we're going to be starting to see a little bit of a slowdown. And Ghana's bank plans to license crypto trading. And this crypto trading is obviously going to allow a lot more people to have access to crypto. And more access for people around the world is obviously going to allow for more liquidity to flow through and allowing the market to capture more of the capital. And Bitcoin ETF may reduce volatility and shift market dynamics, suggesting a new trend from Bitcoin. And as I mentioned, if the market stays in the condition it is currently, there is a very strong chance that until we get to Wednesday, there will be a lot of fluctuation or just a stable market. There can be two ways of seeing this. And if the market becomes extremely volatile, it will be a little bit better to ensure that, you know, interest rate cut is going to be the best way to move forward from this point on. And hey, that maybe is the reason why the entire market is showing a positive trend today. But overall, staying in the stable market while we wait for the decision from Powell is going to be the best thing that can happen. Other than that, I hope you guys did enjoy today's video. If you did, drop a like on it. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Nothing I said is financial advice, just my personal opinion. I hope you have a good day, and I'll see you soon.